anything like heavy yet, you know.
Right.
But it feels good. There's no pain there. The soreness is like crazy because obviously all those muscles have been like so. I haven't been using them, and then
Right. And all of a sudden you're
but
beating them up.
yeah, especially on the sessions that like I have with Dom or Wesley, where like they put the newbie on me and they just put it on that one leg, and I'll go through a leg session, but only the left leg will be completely covered up in the nodes. So it's like a
Yeah,
deep soreness because of that reason. Because we're trying to make it catch up. So you know,
that's smart. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good, good,
So,
good,
so
good.
how about you, man? How you been?
Good, just busy. I mean, that's the same shit, running around, you know what I mean? Just training, eating, being dad, you know. Wife is gonna give birth here soon, so I'm getting ready for that. Basically a waiting game at this point, you know. It's
Yeah,
gonna
when did she do exactly?
3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks. So like it's coming soon. It's gonna be here in a matter of fucking it's gonna go like this. I already know it. So start putting together like the put together like the bassinet, which is like the little bed. This other like carrier thing. I don't know, just dad shit, you know.
Yeah.
Putting all that together and yeah, it's a waiting game now. I'm getting kind of excited, kind
I
of
was about to say
anxious.
that. How are you feeling about it all?
Honestly, I'm good. I'm excited. I kind of want to, I'm just like, I'm ready. Like, I think she's at the same um point where I am. We're just kind of like, all right, let's pop this baby out. Let's get this show on the road. Let's
Mhm.
get those like first 6 months out of the way because like the first 6 months are like the toughest. Where you're trying to figure out, the baby and you're trying to figure out the new routine and the new schedules and all that. So I'm just kind of like, I'm more anxious for that, just to get that out of the way and get the ball rolling more than anything else. But yeah, I'm kind of excited, you know.
Awesome, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's it's one of those things where you're just like, I really want to get this ball rolling, but I'm also kind of like, you don't know what the hell you're walking into, you know? There's Mike.
What's up?
Hey, Muffin Man.
Mike Trenek. Trenek. I'm gonna call you Trenek.
Indeed, that'd probably be a better nickname than Muffin Man, huh? How's it going? I feel like we haven't talked to you guys in a little bit.
I know it's been a minute. I like your pup. We never
We
pup.
have three in this household, so we got a lot. This is Maze.
Maze. Oh, she's just staring. She's like, Dad, what the fuck are you doing? You're talking to a computer screen.
It's funny.
Yeah. Is Derek joining us?
What's up?
He said he might pop in. He said he wasn't feeling too well, so we'll see if he does. I'm sure he'll muster up a little energy to get on.
We doing an intro or what? We just rolling without the intro again.
I know, right? Well, we are back with Mind Money Muscle. We got three of the four gentlemen here today. We got me, Marcel, and Mike. We were all catching up a little bit because we haven't really talked to each other in a couple of weeks either.
Yeah.
I was mentioning how I've been able to progress with my legs, like with my leg, I should say, really well the last couple of weeks, getting more and more confident. Did a couple of drills where I'm like skipping and hopping off of it now, and so it's all good, man. So how you doing, Mike?
I'm good, man. Life is good. I was working on the just now I was working in the garage on the gym setup. I'm trying to fix the functional trainer that I got. One of the cable I got it for a deal, but one of the cables is broken. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to like work on threading it through right now, and
Dude,
it's a
cables give me anxiety.
cable.
Like, it's funny because all my like selectorized pieces that I have,
Yeah.
I paid like the extra money for somebody to come and assemble it for me because I'm literally like deathly afraid of not okay, afraid is a bad word. Like I literally don't want to touch any of it because I'm like, there's too many adjustments, too many little things. Like I'm gonna be doing this for 2 days. They're gonna come and do it in 2 hours.
100% the truth. I have learned very quickly, very quickly. I'm like, okay, not getting very many cable pieces and as many like just
Mhm.
machines that actually are like plate loaded and just move on one
Yeah.
hinge, like
Yeah.
the amount of maintenance is going to be so much less. And yeah, cables are a pain. They're expensive too. And
Yeah.
one cable part for this, because it's an old machine, was like $250 or something. Because the brand is no
cable?
longer. I needed to make sure it's a certain length
Fuck.
Wow.
machine, and it like loops around like 4 times in the machine itself. It's crazy. So
Hey, I next time let me know. I got this guy.
yeah, I'll just tell you how long it is, and
Yeah, and he does it all. He will he'll even come by probably for that same price he would have put it in for you. You know what I mean?
lessons learned along the way, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. He's a good guy. He does. I think he's called Cactus Fitness. I don't know. I have his sticker on my one of my pieces. So anytime something breaks, I just call it. You know. It sounds stupid, but I'm telling you, like at a certain point, I'm like, on top of that, like I don't know with the cable piece, if it's not working properly, does it bug you? It bugs the shit out of me. Like if I feel a little weird tension somewhere that I'm not supposed to feel.
I got, yeah, like
Yeah.
everything's getting like re-greased up so it's smooth. Which is
Silicone lubricant.
yeah, super easy to do, but yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I'm gonna share a screen here. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Because I don't know. I just feel like this needs to be talked about a bit. So is the,
You've been sitting on that for a couple of weeks too.
I have because I've seen this on a national stage before even too, which kind of bugs me. Um,
Yeah.
what are you guys' thoughts on something like this? Right? Okay, I get it. The dude wanted to step on stage. Great, you did. But do you guys feel like there should be some kind of a threshold for like being allowed into a bodybuilding show? Because I feel like there should be. There should be at least a conditioning threshold. Like it
Well,
during
I,
check-ins, you're like if
I,
check-in somebody says, what are you doing here? Then like that's an issue in my opinion. Unless you're like, I don't know, there's shows that have those categories. That's like the weight loss category. There's the, you know what I mean? Unless it's like that. But like open bodybuilding, there's no way that should have been a winner at a open super heavyweight.
okay, and that's actually what I was going to touch base on. As I feel they should do something. Not that he shouldn't get first place, but if you're the only one in your class, I feel like you shouldn't be nationally qualified.
Yes.
Because I would say like this individual, I wouldn't mind you at a regional show, in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
it's like whatever they're they're spending their money.
Yeah.
If they place, it's because no one's there. But they definitely shouldn't be out at a national show where people are at a certain level, a certain tier, and then we're letting them come in because they were the only one that showed up, type deal, you know. So that's where I would say about that. I also think there is obviously those categories in some shows, the transformation challenges. There just isn't as many options. So again, at a regional show, I would be okay with seeing this. And again, just making a thing where it's if you're the only one or the only two of you, maybe only first place gets a national qualification, not top two.
I don't know. I feel like okay, even if they're let's say that you are the only one, you know, in your super heavy class, whatever. If you want to get the qualification, get the qualification. That's for me. That's not necessarily what it's about. For me, it's more about like it's almost like a disrespectful to the sport, in my opinion, a bit. Like, would you go out to a golf course if you know, at a competition if you didn't know how to swing a golf club? Probably not, right? Like you would look like a total dildo, in my opinion. So it's like you have to have some respect for the sport. Like you know better than that. That's just my opinion. You've
Yeah,
seen a bodybuilding show.
my opinion's more indifferent. I'm kind of Luis. I'm on your wavelength where I'm like local shows, man. It's let's be real, it's just a business. I remember in nationals. I think it was like what 3 or 4 years ago. There's
Oh, the guy, yeah, was ridiculous, dude.
I almost feel like it's a troll, like
Yeah.
I don't, or maybe as a mental, a thing where
Pretty
uh,
expensive troll, if you ask me.
but I don't know, man. At a local show, I mean, at the end of the day, at a local or regional show, right? All we get are participation trophies, anyways. Like, we didn't win the overall, so like, it's all right. Paid just as much money to get up there. So you also like this is the stance that I had with it before. It's like, yes, I know more. Like, there are more of those shows that have the transformation division, but like for a lot of people, these are finish lines or milestones to help them along their journey. So I think I've definitely had your perspective or your opinion before, where I was a little bit more like almost took it personally. But I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
these are their own journeys, man. It's I mean, just the same with like you and your clients too, right? You have a lot of clients, I'm sure, that just don't think the way that you think, even when it comes to
Yeah.
safety, because they're all at different points, in their own journey. So I don't know, less.
And I get what Marcel's saying too about the disrespect to like our sport in a way where like, did you actually put the effort? Like, so
Yeah.
that's where it's also like a thing. Because say you had a client that lost over 300 pounds, they're probably not ever going to get to the point that they're going to look like a class winner. If
Yeah,
we're being
for
honest,
sure.
you know what I mean? But if you saw them lose all that weight, they have some muscle now, and they are in shape for their like what they could do. I don't think that necessarily is a bad thing. If someone shows up though, you can tell they didn't diet, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's kind of different, like vibe. It's a different like
Yeah.
perception too. You know what I mean? And so this gentleman again, we don't know his story, we don't know exactly, but that kind of looked like that. So that's why I see why you see that way. The guy didn't even try. He doesn't look like he lost a bunch of weight already. It
Yeah.
doesn't
It
look like
looks like
yeah.
he's deep into like a 3 or 4 year off season. You know what I mean? And
He looks
decides
like
to try
he looks
bodybuilding.
like a guy at the gym that likes to work out. And maybe
Yes.
someone told him go compete. You look great, but he forgot to diet for the show.
Yeah. You go compete. Just, you forgot about that big step where you do a, 20-week, 16, 20-week prep for.
Yeah, maybe he thought you show up and like, yeah, because I don't know, man. Because like, I even look back when I did my first show, like when I did that first bodybuilding show, and
Mhm.
like I wasn't supposed to do bodybuilding. It was when Men's Physique first came out, and my coach sent me to go sign up, and I didn't know crap about anything. So when I'm looking to go sign up, I picked bodybuilding accidentally. They got my weight, they threw me in middleweight, and like that's
Yeah.
just what happened to me. I had abs, I was skinny as shit, but it was like also like I was naive. I was dumb. I didn't have a coach really that was I
Yeah.
guess smart enough to make me. It was the first year for men's physique like this, so it was a lot of confusion. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, since we're on this topic, right? I know another thing we wanted to cover was the amount of pro cards that are being given out, right? So I guess what are you guys' thoughts on that too? Like, should the amount of pro cards be minimized? Well, because what was it? What was it? It was like a crazy number that I saw of pro cards that were given out last year, and it was like, what the fuck?
I think it was like 700 in the U.S. and like over like 1,300 across the
Yeah.
globe or something like that.
Yeah.
I think Bison Tries had it. If you want to look at them,
Who had it? I'm sorry.
I think Bison Tries, I believe.
Highs and tries. Yeah. Let me take a look because
No, I don't know. I don't think that's that great. I mean, let's take 700. Well, how many divisions? There's like 10 divisions now, right? Like 5 for each, or is it 4 for each gender?
So you got okay. So let's go. Let's go.
I mean, well, I wonder if that considers also wheelchair division and stuff like that. You
So
know what I mean? It might. So it might be more classes actually.
Well,
I
so
don't
you
know if there's
got
that many opportunities, but
yeah.
and
So if we look at if you look at the female side, you got fitness, right?
it's 9.
Yeah, we got fitness, we got
bikini,
bikini, we got
wellness,
wellness, we got
figure,
figure and bodybuilding.
physique.
Or physique, sorry. Physique. Oh, now they have bodybuilding too, so that's
Yeah.
6. Okay, so that's 6. Men's side, we got men's physique, we have classic physique, we have
Open to 12.
bodybuilding. And well, bodybuilding in the amateur level doesn't.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's only
Pro
3,
cards, yeah.
right? So that's only 3. So you got altogether, we got what, 11?
And the caveat too, right, is like then you don't include masters, which that's a whole other conversation, right? If masters should be considered
Oh yeah.
masters pro,
Masters Nationals and stuff. Yeah, true.
right? Because I think masters skews that number. Because now it's like instead of just those categories, you also have
Double.
Masters of each. Yeah, true.
whatever. So that also increases it. Which in my opinion, I think should be like separate from the normal open.
Yeah.
But that's
And I think it's great that there's that many pro cards being given out, that there's that many opportunities. But I think that what they could do is maybe not give it like in classic, and this is coming from me, and not I don't have a pro card. Maybe don't give it for the top 2, just the class winner.
Yeah.
Narrow it to that now, because I feel like the divisions are all pretty well filled. Like it doesn't have to be just let's fill it up, because at first that's what it kind of was. Classic was new. Let's build with the division. But it's like I think
I do agree with that. I'm almost like where it should be like top three in an overall for each particular class. So, you know, class winners go up against each other, and then you take top three from each show, and those are the ones that win the pro cards. The reason why I say that, right? Because let's say you're like a middleweight bodybuilder or a lightweight bodybuilder or a bantamweight bodybuilder. Why are you getting a pro card? You are not a pro bodybuilder. Nowhere near a pro body. You're 10 years away from being a pro bodybuilder. You see what I'm saying? So like that's the type of stuff that I'm like, why is a bantamweight weighing 140 pounds or 145 pounds getting a pro card in men's open bodybuilding, where unless you are fucking, you know, at least 208 pounds so you can compete in the 212, you're not doing well. You're not a pro bodybuilder. Like, how are you being called a pro when you're not pro ready?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, the level of competition's different, right? And there's more pro cards going out, but from like a business standpoint, just a money standpoint, right? If there's 700 pro cards a year and each of them has to pay $200 every year to keep that pro card, right? I'm pretty sure like they have to keep paying it as they're a pro. Every
Right.
year you have 140, $150,000 going business net new, and on top of that just compounds every single year, right? So it turns them into a multi-million-dollar business, which they are, which they do need to actually frankly pay the people who work there and continue to grow the sport. So I don't know. I would be curious to see some of the actual like stats on it, right? Be like, okay, of those 700, how many actually competed next year?
Yeah, because they came out with that rule at the beginning of I think last year or this year, where every pro card now has to, for you to keep it, you have to keep paying for it. If you don't pay for it 1 year, you have to go requalify for it.
That's bullshit. Let's throw
No,
that is bullshit.
I'm almost certain that came out either earlier this year or last year. They
Oh
made that
no, don't
rule.
get me wrong. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you're saying bullshit. I'm saying that's
Oh,
no. I'm
oh,
saying
oh yeah.
that's
It's a money thing.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's bullshit, bro. If you worked your ass off for that pro card and you won a pro card fair and square, there's no reason why I should be having to pay $200 to keep your pro card. That's bogus.
It kind of incentivizes, I think, also for the competitors to compete, right? So that you're not sitting like on it, which I mean, it's kind of rough because we want to take a deep off season, and that's
Yeah.
like, well, I have to pay for my pro card for nothing. But
That's
uh,
kind of like the same thing that they do. Like if you are an NPC coach, you have to have your NPC card to get a coach's pass at an NPC show. Like that's fucking bogus as hell. The reason why that is, like, if you have a competitor, right? Like, I understand charging somebody $150 for a coach's pass. Okay. I get it. You want to have that benefit of having your coach back there, blah, 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 blah. Cool story. Let's charge you $150. No stress, monkey off the back, right? But they're like, oh, it's $150 plus your coach's, you know, $150. What'd they raise it to? 125 now? Or some shit like that.
yeah,
125 for the NPC card. So like, oh, so you're paying $275 for your coach. And then you know what they did? Which show was that? Desert Valley of the Sun, I think. Yeah, Valley of the Sun.
Whitney.
No, I'm not sure about Whitney because I went that I didn't have my NPC card yet because I didn't compete yet that year. But it was Valley of the Sun. My client really wanted me to be backstage with him. It was his, you know, one of his first shows. Like, I really want you to be back there. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. Like, if you want to cover the coach's pass, that's fine. I mean, I'll be there. They charged him for a morning ticket for me, a night ticket for me, NPC card, and a coach's pass for backstage.
So that's what I was saying. So they did that, Whitney, when I was in crutches, bro. And that's what kind of bothers me. I hate to put her on blast like that, but it is what it is. They made me pay for each show, like seating, a backstage pass plus my NPC card.
Like that's a little bit overboard, don't you think? Like,
Dude,
fuck
it
it.
was a total cost of like 400 and some that day.
Yes, exactly. And my client paid that. And I told him, I was like, listen, just walk out from backstage. You know, I'll look at you like I will tell you what to do, but I don't want you to spend that money. But he was very like adamant about having me back there. So he paid it. Dude, he was done with the show in 10 minutes.
Yep.
Like they were the first ones up. It was a 10-minute thing. And then I'm like, that's it. See you at the night show, buddy. And he's like, damn, that's what I paid $400 for. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you know, I
I
get
mean,
it.
warned them. Yeah,
I
but
get it. I get it that it's a money thing. I get it. But like, you are at that point, I feel like you're preying on the wrong people. You shouldn't be preying on the
It's the
first
same
time
thing with the
competitors.
ticket cost sometimes to go watch some of these shows.
Yeah.
It'd be like $70 for finals. Like, come on,
But
man. Like,
okay, but
come on.
if you want, if you don't want coaches, like, or if you want to make more money off the coaches pass, to just add $5 to everybody's fucking ticket for like the morning show or something. There you go. Problem solved. You made more money and fucking led the coaches in for a backstage pass of 150 or something. You know what I mean? I'm just talking in general. I get
Yeah.
it that they don't want it to be super accessible for just like a random person to be like, oh, I'm a coach. Okay. Well, if your competitor buys their register for the show, they'll put down their coach's name, whatever, on the form as well. Done. Okay. That's it. You get your one coach's pass that you paid for. Here it is. Done deal.
I mean, it's easy to keep track, man. Our shows aren't that huge where you can't keep track. Like you're saying, if you're a coach, we're your athlete. Like, so it's like you can't just get back there. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
Well,
But
for some like bigger teams where they have like 12, 15 people on one show and they all split the cost, whatever. Cool. You know, is
yeah.
it what did it cost them 15, 20 bucks a person to split their coach's cost? Okay. But how many actual big people like that you have at these shows? You know what I mean? Most of the
Yeah.
local shows, I feel like you get a coach that, you know, comes with 2, 3 competitors at a time, you know? And these shows
Or
are
one. Yeah.
or one, yeah, or one for sure, you know? So I feel like there needs to be a middle ground. That, you know what I mean? I get it. It's a business. I trust me. I'm all for, you know, capitalism and making your money where you can. I'm all for it. I really am. But that's preying on the wrong people. I would literally rather have them add $5 to each ticket at the door than it is to rape competitors and coaches like that. Because $5 out of everybody's pocket, they're already paying $70. Do you think somebody's like, oh fuck it, 75, not 70? I'm not coming in to support my family.
Yeah, no, that's some utilitarian shit. I wouldn't say that's the responsibility of the ones attending, because half the ones attending don't know what the hell they're watching. They're just there supporting loved ones. So
No,
Yeah.
it'll
yeah,
And
if
that's yeah.
it's right for my 70-year-old, 80-year-old grandma who doesn't know what the hell's going on,
true.
dollars more because someone's coach wants to go backstage, I think there could be better systems in place, but
Yeah, but I don't think that they make that much money off the coaches' passes regardless, right? Like how many people are actually willing to pay all that?
it also helps keep the backstage fucking organized, right? Like if there imagine if there's 30 coaches, 40 coaches for all those athletes, right? Everyone has one athlete. Let's just say the worst case scenario, everyone has a different coach.
Yeah.
Okay, all of a sudden you got double the amount of people in the tiny backstage space than what you imagined, and it's a zoo and everyone's talking and you're trying to like navigate, and you got this person yelling at this person across the room and just trying to make, I don't know, it's gatekeeping, right? There's a reason whether or not it's right. I do think it's the right for the show to like get money from them. I agree that I think having to get like an NPC card and all that's overkill. I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. But like there's a reason, right? So
What do you think the reason is for that? For morning show, night show, NPC card, and backstage
I
pass?
think it's ridiculous. Isn't that's also what Two Bros did, right? Is like they just charge for every show and it's super expensive. It's like more than what the Arnold Classic was, right?
Oh
So
shit. Oh yeah, that's right. They did do that, those assholes. Yeah. It's like you want to see classic physique, you bought a classic physique ticket, and right? Is that what they did, from my understanding? And then for
I,
bodybuilding was a separate ticket.
I think he mailed amateurs and pros event. That was charged two separate. So
Okay,
like
I
to
could
watch the
understand that
amateur,
though. I could
yeah,
understand.
and me too. But I guess the amount they were charging, what I mean, it seemed pretty like shitty. And then also like he was complaining, and Michael DeBull was complaining about that the backstage,
Mhm.
the actual stage. He was complaining about a lot of different things and how these people tend to do these things at every show. It's a monopoly for them because they're the only ones out there. So it's like they don't have to worry about it.
All right. So long story short, all right, with the pro cards, because we went off the fucking deep end here. With the pro cards, what do you guys think? Like, too many? You don't give a fuck,
I
or
I don't care. I don't think 90% of them will even compete. And
yeah,
that's the finish line for a lot of people. I do think it makes sense from a business perspective. And look, at the end of the day, they are also attaching themselves to something because you best believe that not every single one, but 90% of them, 95% of them are going to be like, I am an IFBB pro, and it's something that they use for their own benefit as well. So, you're attaching yourself to something, they should have at least a small portion if you're going to try to use their, title, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have no issue with the amount of pro cards because at the end of the day, the amount of competitive pros are going to be the amount of competitive pros regardless.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough, Luis.
Yeah, like the cream will rise to the top regardless, like they say. The best of the best will be who they are. But I overall think that they could reduce the pro cards a little bit, just
Yeah.
make it. I mean, again, it's coming from someone with no pro card, so I'm not saying it's easy, but to make it a little more pristine, a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so stuff like that.
Yeah. I think my personal opinion, I think top three overall in each division would be fucking fantastic.
They do that at the amateur O, I believe. Amateur
Yeah,
O's.
they do something like that at the amateur O. I don't know that I don't know if it's just the overall winner, I think, at the amateur O in each one. But I think top three in each one is fair and square because if you look at body shit, even top two in the overall, if you look at bodybuilding, I'm just saying like some of the lower weight classes, there's just I mean, unless you're like a Sean Clarita and you're 5'4" and you're just fucking 180 pounds and you're just a fucking insane bodybuilder. But like, let's face it, lightweights, bantamweights, middleweights, how many of them are actually ready to be a pro bodybuilder? None.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? None. So, and this isn't a shot at anybody that's in those weight classes, but that's just the truth. If you want to be an open bodybuilder, it's going to take you some years. Okay. You're not a pro bodybuilder. You might have the title of IFBB pro, but you're not a pro bodybuilder. Hey, go step on a pro stage, see how that goes for you. Okay. Not very well. Shit, go step on some regional shows with some heavier dudes, and you probably will still get stomped on by some dude that has no pro card. You know what I mean? So that I think that's the thing that I think could be a little bit more prestige. And then also with bikini and men's physique, there's tons of classes, national shows. There's like 12, 13 classes at some. You know what I mean? Give it out to the top three, top three overall. I think that would be great. So that would be like if you win a pro card, that would be like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
It already is hard to win one, obviously. It is hard to win one. But I'm just saying at that point is just more um
Pristine.
it is more pristine, but also like you guys were saying with like a business aspect, right? Like if they don't win one and they're close to one, they're gonna keep coming back to compete for more. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I look at it too.
Sure. Yeah.
You know? So it could be a win-win in both situations because if they don't win one, most people will keep coming back until they win one or until they retire.
No, that's actually a really good point.
And
Yeah.
I feel like if you do um you're more likely not to compete again when you win a pro card than you are if you come close to one.
Yep. No,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, that is the winning point right there. You got me. I'm sold. Marcel, I'm sold.
No, it's funny because it's coming from the three of us who have no fucking business in having a pro card yet. So we're not talking shit about anybody that's won a pro card that didn't win an overall. Okay,
No, we're just being real. We're just being real.
we're just being real. Like
Especially when it comes to the pro level, like what?
yeah,
You know,
yeah. There's levels to it. There's definitely something to be said about making it a bit harder.
it's kind of like college sports. You have your big schools and your big conferences,
Yeah.
and then you have your college. There's still a Division 1 school, but they're in a smaller conference where they go try to bang with somebody that's in a big conference. They might get stomped by everybody in that whole
Yeah,
thing.
hell yeah, you get stomped by
There's
everybody.
levels to, yeah, high school as well, 2A, 3A, 4A.
Yeah, it's like you could say I'm a national champion, and you're like a national champion, like a 3A school, and then somebody in an 8A will fucking eat you for breakfast. You know what I mean? Like, are you a national champion or are you a national champion?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's for me personally, it's about being like true to myself almost. Like if I won a pro card and if I felt like I got lucky because nobody else showed up,
Yeah,
that would be the worst day for me ever. Not the worst day ever. You know what I mean? But I would be like,
yeah.
fuck, dude, like I
What do
got
you
lucky.
would you accept it or would you pull a Jose Raymond?
What did Jose Raymond do?
Denied his pro card like 3 times because he
Oh,
wanted to keep competing at the top of the amateur level.
can you even do that?
Yeah, you can deny a pro card.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Give it to the guy
Mhm.
behind.
Mm. I don't think they give it to anybody, but I think you're still allowed to. I mean, I don't know how much of
Hey,
how that's going to hurt you down the line, then. But
check this out. I would make it into a business, right? If I was good enough, I would just keep winning them. Right? I'll sell you my pro card for $1,000, bro.
Again, making sure no one else turns pro.
just
No
keep winning every
heavyweight.
show, dude, and just keep selling them.
No heavyweights are winning the USA's ever again.
I'm the fucking gatekeeper, bitch.
mhm.
Oh man, that'd be pretty funny. No, that's crazy. I didn't know that Jose did that. Where you're just like, nah, I don't want one. I'm not good enough yet. See, to all you fucking middleweights and bantamweights, like, listen to Jose. Jose knew he wasn't ready.
What, did he get second or third? Was his highest placing in the Olympia?
Jose, let's see.
He was third,
Competed for like 90 years.
reigning. I think,
I think it was third.
second or third.
I think at the Olympia it was third. So.
When I was watching it back in college, and I was what, it must have been 7, 8 years ago. I swear that I thought he won it. I was like, he looks insane. He was the most peeled that year, and his shape is ridiculous.
Dude, was his nickname Tito? Or is that
Oh,
somebody else? Tito Raymond?
It's Jose Raymond.
Holy fuck. 1993 Musclemania middleweight. I was born in 1993.
Yeah.
NPC USA Championships middleweight, 1993. 1994 Musclemania. 1994 Team Universe. 1995 Team Universe. 1996 Team. Dude, I think that dude's done the most national shows out of everybody I've ever seen. 1997 Musclemania. 1997 NPC Universe. 1998 Universe. 1998 USA's. 1999 Musclemania. 1999 Team Universe. 1999 NPC USA's. 2000s NPC Team Universe, 2000 NPC USA Championships, 2000 World Amateur Championships, 2001 Universe, 2001 USA's. Dude, he's still going. Bro, this dude's done like 30 fucking national shows.
It's like 15 years of nonstop national.
Yeah, the fucking 15 years of spending a lot of money on national shows. What the fuck? That's crazy. I didn't know about that, Jose. That he's done that many national shows. I wonder what was his highest level placing in Olympia?
He was second or third. I don't remember, but it was what, 8-ish years ago.
He's been retired for that long already.
Been retired for a while, yeah.
Fuck man, time flies, huh?
No,
Yeah, no, it's crazy that well, first of all, he made it really long in bodybuilding. You know, that's like what's his face? Kamal. I mean, Kamal
And
competed.
then
Go ahead.
they were both. I would say they were both. Coincidentally, both of them were natural for a good chunk of their early on career. They built a big foundation. I think that obviously played a big part, and then
Yeah.
go so long.
Well, that's like Keon. He won his pro card natural. Isn't that crazy?
thanks.
Do you believe that? Do you actually believe that? Because I do. He's a freak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually believe that he was able to win a pro card natural. That's like Ronnie Coleman, dude. He competed in the pros and placed at pro shows. He didn't have a clue about gear until one day somebody told him, like, wait, you're not on gear. He's like, nope. And he went on gear and started winning fucking everything.
Yeah, I went to school in Philly, and dude, I met quite a few people training at the LA Fitnesses or whatever, where you look
Yeah.
at him, there's no way that he's not sauced, but they didn't like barely knew how to train, and they're twice or 3 times as big as I am now. Just,
Yeah. Do
Well,
you guys know if the NPC universe is tested?
well, I don't know.
I heard something that like the open bodybuilder winner gets tested in NPC universe,
I think I've heard something like that too, but I don't know how true that is.
which is weird. Like, why just test the open bodybuilder? Because I know for a fact, I know people that won pro cards at NPC universe, multiple of
Yeah,
them,
or sauce up.
all to the gills. So I know that's incorrect, but I heard that I don't know anybody in bodybuilding that's won in that universe. That's an interesting question. I'm gonna look that up. NPC universe drug testing.
Well, let's cover after this. What are the shows that we haven't covered since was Detroit and Brazil?
Detroit.
I
Yeah.
think Brazil.
Okay, so check this out before we get into that. All open class winners will have a urine analysis tested backstage by a qualified nurse doctor, and all samples will be sent out for testing right afterwards. What?
I always bring an emergency bag of pee with me.
Yeah, bring your bag of piss. What the
Just
fuck? Why is that? That's so weird.
I don't even think that's a thing though. Like how many of those people are not on gear? No way.
And like that's on Bev's website, dude.
Yeah, when's the last time we've heard someone taking their pro cards away from being on? Like, no, that's not. They're not doing it. I don't care what it says on the website.
Yeah, they might do a urine analysis for like cocaine or something. Like,
yeah. Maybe for like just trend. Just don't be on trend for
no,
this one.
but seriously, they said urine analysis. What the fuck is going to be in your urine analysis? Nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Nothing.
It's not blood work.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Were they going to test you for coke, methamphetamine, diuretic? I don't know. Like,
yeah, diuretic. You could.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's it. But like, as far as gear, what can they test? Nothing. They can't test shit when it comes to gear. All right.
Natural means diuretic free.
All right, let's take a look at Detroit Pro really quick. Detroit Pro. Who won the Detroit Pro?
Martin.
Martin. What'd you guys think of Martin?
I love it.
Yeah, Martin looks good. Martin has a weird look to him at times, and like that's just my opinion. He has like this he's really lean, right? But like the cuts aren't that deep. I'm gonna pull this up right now. It's like a spongy look. That I don't know how to explain it. Here, let's take a look at this.
I feel like he almost has like that black man muscle for how round he is. And that's why I feel like he maybe doesn't split as hard because sometimes he is a little bit on the fuller side.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what that seems to be his kind of his game.
See, like, I don't know if that's a bad picture, but look, like you see his veins and you see his thin skin, and you see it.
Yeah.
But like the separation is just not as prominent. Okay, that's a pretty sick shot from the waist down.
Yeah, his physique's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it also might be a maturity thing. He is pretty young, so maybe some of the muscle just doesn't have that same. Because like his legs do look like, especially his hamstring and his glutes, definitely look way hard. And
do you think it could be thing too, man? Like if you look at different front shots of his, we changed to.
No. Well, I did. No, the reason why I pulled that up right next to it is because I'm like, this is what he lost to. I mean, this is what Martin beat.
Yeah, I think it might be a posing thing, then it just comes back to pictures, right? Versus video. Because like look at some
I mentioned this about Vito.
Deeper on certain shots.
Yeah, so I mentioned that on the last podcast we did with Good Vito. Is he literally lost a place or two with the last show he did from just his posing.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's what happened here. He lost a lot of it in the posing. Because obviously we weren't there, so I don't know in person. But like me looking at pictures, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this is, that Good Vito had a harder, bigger, fuller, drier physique. So like he had a decent package. And it's not like Martin's shape is really pretty, right? But like it's not like Vito is not pretty.
Pretty as well, yeah.
He is freaky.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck. But what is that?
Like I think Martin benefited from being a little bit more balanced. But this guy has more of that freak factor, like especially because of freaky body parts. But if you look from upper lower, he definitely looks like a little more lower dominant. Martin tends to flow a little better in that way, and his posing, like you're saying, he's very jittery on stage. He's very doesn't hold the pose. He's kind of like Ramon. He's very jittery.
If you put some bigger delts on him right here in this shot, there's literally not an ounce anywhere else. That's because his traps are so big. Like
I think his arms are kind of undersized in that shot too, compared to his lower half.
yeah, I mean, I can see that. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying here in the most muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he could add some delts and some more maturity, like in his chest, thicker through the chest up here, he's gonna be nasty. And obviously I think he needs some more size from the back and density in here. So some more. Sorry, density was the wrong word. Some more depth in his back. It's not as deep.
Thickness.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was 1-2. Who was 3 on Detroit Pro?
Ron Gordon.
Okay, that's a sick shot. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked, but I saw that shot. I'm like, that's nasty.
Some of the best photos and videos coming from this show.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, that's another thing too, right? Sick lighting. They did a really good job with all that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all
Backdrop.
black. I liked it, dude. It was different.
Old school.
So who was third? Do you guys remember? I'm sorry.
Ron Gordon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
RPG.
Yeah, it wasn't a very deep show. And then what did we have? Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Are you
It's,
talking you're not
huge.
talking about Arnold Classic Brazil, are you?
That's that. Oh
You were
yeah,
talking about
that's the
Arnold
one,
Classic?
right? I don't think we did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh, all right, no worries.
No, I'm pretty sure we did because I think
Oh, we did. Yeah. That's true.
yeah, we covered Arnold Classic Brazil.
What do you feel about that, Mike? Real quick, since he wasn't on that one.
So Arnold Classic Brazil, obviously Rafael won it. And number 2 was they had a little debacle there for number 2. What was his name?
Yeah, I thought the toilet clogger, in my opinion, should have got first, but who am I?
Tonya Burton, you think should have gotten first?
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, let's pull it up. That's an interesting it's probably somewhere down here. Tonio, he looked good. Rafael looked good. Rafael did not look as good as he did in the Arnold Classic Ohio, that's for sure. I will 100% give that to you.
I think sometimes pro judges can attach themselves, or like whatever they say in their logic, they go flip-floppy on their logic sometimes. A lot of their analysis of like who wins, they compare a lot to like what like a competitor did last time. And this time I thought that what's the name who won Brazil guy?
Rafael.
Rafa.
Rafa, Rafa regressed pretty massively, right? Like show to show.
Yeah.
Antonio showed up. Showed it Antonio was peeled and isn't missing anything. I don't know. To me,
I don't know.
Antonio
So check this out. So I know him and Tonio had like an issue with Rafa or whatever. But like I get okay, so I get why Rafa won Brazil. Like it wasn't like a robbery in my opinion, where it was like, oh my God, how is that even possible? Like it could go both ways per se. But like if you got beaten by somebody, would you open your mouth and say it was because it was from somebody's hometown, like publicly?
Oh, of course not.
No, and that's where he fucked up. Like,
That's where he fucked up, right? Like, in my opinion,
Like-
I'd be like, when's the next show that you're doing? Oh, okay, you're going to O. All right, bitch, I'll see you at the O and I will smoke you at the O. You know what I mean?
not just that, but it's like it's not gonna benefit him bitching about it. Like I get how he feels. In my opinion, I could have seen Tonio winning, but it's like you still don't have a right to say that when you're gonna. I mean, he's pretty much talking shit about the judging as well, and these are the people that also will be judging you in the future. Like I don't know, I thought that's where that was stupid. And Rafa just defended himself. Obviously, he probably should have ignored him, but it is what it is, and yeah.
Yeah, this is what Tonio said. He wasn't conditioned enough to win any pose. If you had someone like Steve or Tyler judging, he's not making a call out with that conditioning. He has lumps in his glutes.
I mean, we could say certain things about Samson's conditioning, right? And he's
Yeah. I mean,
Beef Stew's comment on that one. I just like when I literally laughed out loud when I had saw this post originally.
I
It was
hear no
What do
lies.
you say?
it was like, yeah,
He said, "I hear no lies."
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there in person. I really didn't feel like it was like some kind of a robbery. I really don't. I don't think it was that bad. I could see how like Tonio could be like, oh, he won it because it was in Brazil and he had a hometown. He was a hometown favorite. Blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah, all right, sure. He might have gotten like I don't think you could win a show that way. I think you could get a call out that way. You know what I mean? Where they'll dump you in that first call out because you're the hometown favorite, but they're not going to give you a show just because you're from Brazil. That's my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I've seen weird shit happen, but at the Arnold Classic, you know what I mean? That I don't know. That's tough.
tough indeed.
I don't know. I'll give it to Rafael. Is Tonio qualified for the O yet or no?
And that's another thing, right? Why didn't Tonio jump in Detroit? Like, why didn't he like?
That would have
get
been
a
a
couple-
perfect show for him to win. That was his show to win right there.
The application was late apparently, and the IFBB Pro League doesn't give much wiggle room, I guess, to their
Oh,
rules.
really? Is that what it was? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
and it was like it was after the 7 day window, so they denied him for that show.
Bro, just accept the fucking application,
It wasn't
IFBB.
even Fuad apparently tried to. This is apparently tried to like bend over backwards for him too and get him in because it would have been great for his show, right? More complicated.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would have been a fantastic for him.
League denied him.
Is the Detroit, that's Fuad's show?
Mhm.
That's kind of weird and unfortunate. You would think that if as long as they can show up to registration, you would let them, right?
Yeah, you think so? It'd be better for for a show that's in its first year. You know, you think it as a league, they'd be like, ah, yeah, that's kind of smart. Let's include him. It'll be more competitive. But
Oh, I get it. He's doing Detroit because he's Canadian, so it's right across the border for him. Is that what it was? Okay.
yeah,
So I'm like, why the fuck does Fuad have a Detroit show?
that's why. So it's in the U.S., but it's right across the.
It's right across the bridge, basically. I
Exactly.
think he has a Canadian show, doesn't he too?
Yeah.
Not a pro.
That's bullshit. They should have just let him in, man. It would have been good for everybody. Would have been good for Tonio.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that part. Yeah.
Yeah, and then last but not least, okay. James DeShed got another new coach.
Did he?
He did.
I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, dude. I saw that this morning. I was like,
Yeah,
"Another
I've
one,
not
bro?"
seen this yet.
I'm
Who is
like,
it?
What's his name
uh,
again?
it's
The guy who does Martin Fitzwater and all that.
let me
Oh, Stefan.
Stefan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sharing this right now. Give me 1 second.
That guy's like the hot coach right now.
Yes,
Right?
he's
He's like kind of what Patrick Tor was like 2 years ago.
yeah. So yeah, he's looks like so he coaches Martin too. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know he coaches Urs, he coaches Wesley.
Nathan, I believe.
It's all there. Yeah.
All right, I want to get your guys before we get out of here. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that because do you think James is holding his potential back by like not even completing a whole prep with a coach?
I mean, just even him coaching himself, he's holding himself back, in my opinion.
I could agree with that statement, especially because I feel like I don't know, right? I don't know James, so this is just me talking from like I'm speculating from the outside and from my knowledge of bodybuilding. Like the first thing that goes on everybody is their mental state and prep. Like you think you're not good enough, you think something else has to be done, you think your coach is pulling you down too low or keeping you
You
too
just overthink it. Overthink it.
yeah, you start overthinking it. So in my opinion, I think that's the problem where that's what keeps happening over and over with James. It's not necessarily that the coaches are making the wrong calls. It's just he starts doubting himself and then he starts doubting the coach and he starts being like, all right, well, his way doesn't work with me. And then it's just like an endless cycle with him. You know what I mean? And at a certain point as a coach, you're just like, dude, I don't no, we're not doing this again, bro. Like we've done this before. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like why even have a coach when you're James at this point? Just do your own thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. James is one of my favorite bodybuilders just because like I like him as a personality.
I love him. I
It's
do.
out there. Like I feel like I relate to a lot of the stuff that he talks about and on the mental side or just like even some of the hobbies, right? So um no, I don't know, man. I think that I feel like he's constantly just trying to figure it out for himself, you know. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't think he's necessarily holding himself back. I think he's a smart dude. He's been doing this longer than I've been alive, probably. Uh, you know, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to be the solution. I hope that he gives this coach like all the energy and everything that the
Yeah.
coach should get 100%, right? But
Yeah.
see.
I mean, and I'll go off a little bit, but both of you are saying, I think what Marcel's right, that he, from what we could tell, especially not just in the podcast, he tends to overthink things. He tends to stress out. He tends to, so I think his best option would be just to listen to a coach completely.
Yeah.
Stefan, I think, or he might have his respect in a way where he will listen to Stefan completely. Because I mean, they're both kind of from the UK. We'll be able to see him maybe a little bit more often. So there's certain factors that might benefit him as well more. And I think that for us to see the best James ever, he's going to have to go like under someone's guidance where he just follows it. And this guy, I mean, again, seems to have the track record of making people come in condition, peaking them at their very best. So.
Yeah. It's funny because I was reading some of these comments and they're like, um, how long till James says that they were collabing on this or like stuff like that. And I'm like, it's pretty funny. Okay. I'm laughing because it's funny comments, right? Because it's funny. Like I feel for
Yeah,
James because it can't be fun always doing this. You know what I mean? Over and over where you're just like going this endless cycle. But that is kind of true. Like, how would you feel like flip the tables? Like, Mike, let's say you're coaching James, right? And then like you think you're fucking giving this dude your everything, you're calling him, messaging him, you're fucking doing his program, having him check in daily, just his training, adjust his food, and then all of a sudden, like you hear at the end of it, you're like, yeah, we were collabing. I was kind of doing my own thing. Like, how would you like, do you see what I'm saying? Like at what point do coaches say like, oh, James knows so I'm not taking him on because he's going to say I didn't do shit,
I mean, I think that's on the coach's responsibility to make that clear at the very beginning. Like, hey, we're going to work together. You're going to listen to me, and as soon as I find out you're not working with me, be strong enough, like minded that or not. Don't worry about keeping working with James, like that name, that title. Just let it go. You know what I mean? Stay true to your word. And I think the Stefan guy definitely doesn't have to worry about like, oh, I need to keep James to keep my coaching, keep my name in the industry. He's obviously has plenty of other guys. And this kind of that perfect scenario where hopefully James respects him enough too, where he's going to listen.
Yeah. I mean, I love James. James is a phenomenal bodybuilder. He is. He's a good dude. He's a good fucking bodybuilder. He's one of the top ones. When he puts it together, he's one of the top ones. That's for sure. But it's just James even said it himself. He said I believe he said on the podcast that he's like, I'm just uncoachable. You know what I mean? He said it himself. So I don't know. Hope it works out for him. Hope they bring something better than the last few times. And he actually brings out the potential and he doesn't go through that mental fuck that prep is. You know what I mean? Every time. Because it is prep is a mental fuck. And if you're not fully confident, whoever's leading that prep, like, oh, that could be a shitstorm waiting to happen in your head. You know what I mean? Like you're just everything you do, you're questioning it. You're doing cardio, you're questioning it. You're not doing cardio, you're questioning it. You're eating low diet, you're questioning it. You're eating a high diet, you're questioning it. You know what I mean? So it's just like at that point, no matter what you do, you're questioning it. And that's not a good way to go throughout the whole prep. It's just not optimal.
Yeah. Well, Stefan apparently doesn't like go out and try to recruit clients like some other of the gurus, right? Who try to be like, oh, I can help you, or like kiss their ass or get in.
Yeah.
So James went to him for a reason, so
Yeah, no, I hope it works out, dude. I like James. I do. Like anybody watching this isn't a shot at James. This is just me talking about the situation. I like James. James is a good bodybuilder. but he does like to coach hot, and that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Which is fine, but I don't like that he says that he wasn't really following what that coach was telling him to do, because then it's like, are you actually working with somebody, or why is things not working? Because I feel like that's okay. What do I say without
But
sounding?
but there's also conversations I've heard Milos say where like James told Milos in his face, like, I'm gonna go do a refeed day. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna do that. And
Oh,
if he's saying that to Milos, and that's when, like I said, he has to stand his ground and be like, hey man, if you're gonna keep doing that, I'm not gonna work with you. And he
yeah.
kept working with him. He kind of let that keep happening until the show, what was it, Arnold, Ohio, I believe, happened. And then that's when all this kind of came about. But no, I agree with you as well. Like, don't work with somebody you're not gonna follow, but also coach, you gotta stand your ground as well. Like, I don't know. It's kind of put a little blame to both parties.
See, I also feel like that it's hard to hold anybody accountable at that point either. Like, it's hard to keep James accountable, and it's hard to keep the coach accountable. Like, who did what wrong, who did what right? Like, do you see what I'm saying? So, like, let's say that the show goes fucking fantastic, right? And James just says, "Oh, everything was fucking great. Me and Milos killed it. We won the show." What would Milos say at that point? Would he say, "Hey, no, this dude fucking did his own thing for half the time"?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? So
No.
that's like a interesting scenario. And then, let's say James fucks the show up, and Milos goes, "Yeah, no, he was doing his own thing." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
how do you deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's a weird situation. It's a weird dynamic for me.
Okay, but look at it this way: you think Hani deals with anybody that's going to do that with him?
Hani,
Yeah,
Hani don't give a fuck. If you don't
you
follow
probably, you
Hani's
probably let
plan,
you probably let you go. Yeah,
yeah, if you don't follow Hani's plan, peace out, dude.
that's what I'm saying. So,
Okay, yeah, no, very valid point. That just kind of maybe shows where, uh, no, not the type of a person Milos is, but it's
because
just
what was it? Didn't this happen with someone else? I'm trying to think right now with Milos and somebody else, or
Samson.
no? Oh yeah, yeah. So there you go
Oh yeah,
again.
what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's I don't know, kind of when you see two people doing the same thing. Again, Samson's, I guess, a big enough name that you might want to just keep him around. But still, man, as a
No,
big
but
name
that's
coach as well, Milos isn't just a little known coach. So
no. I mean, Milos is from. Forget me if I'm wrong, but I think he works with some UFC fighters too for like weight cuts and shit. So it's not like Milos needs it,
Mhm.
but that is an interesting point, because me as a coach, I would not want Kevin Australia. The fuck? Do I answer a phone from Australia? Anyway, sorry. Um, it- like, as a coach, I wouldn't want to work with somebody that doesn't follow my program. Like, I wouldn't have the patience for it. I don't care how big you are. Would you have the patience for it, or would you feel like somebody's just disrespecting you and wasting your time?
yeah, no, I wouldn't work with him. That wasn't good enough for me. Like,
I know what
uh,
Derek would say. Derek would be like, "I don't give a fuck,"
yeah, no,
because because it's advertisement for him. So I get that point. I really do. This isn't
yeah, yeah.
me. Like, I know that's some people look at it that way, but me personally, I would take it too personally when if somebody was like, "No, I'm doing this, not that."
Yeah. I don't know. I just think as long as people are communicating on what that dynamic is going to be like, right? If you just talk and define whatever relationship it is, be able to figure it out, right? Because I do think the coach doesn't have a necessary responsibility for this, but I think a good coach is there to deal with people's mental mind F's they play on themselves, right? Like if someone's kind of in the thick of it, right? I do
Mhm.
think it's the responsibility of the coach to ease that and guide them through it, and still trust in that process. Um, so I don't know, man. I think it will, as long as there's that trust and good like communication that James seems to have with coaches, and he respects his new coach's like vision.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
So last before we wrap this thing up, okay. There wasn't enough. There wasn't enough trend talk today.
Trend talk?
Derek's not on.
Derek's not on here. So how many grams of trend are you guys doing weekly now?
50.
50.
So I'm on 250 test. 4 I use the growth, 25 milligrams of Anabar.
Oh, that ain't shit. You're good.
Now you're ready for bikini season. There you go.
That's exactly what I'm trying to get ready for. It's summer.
Try
Be a
to
little tighter.
have more abs. Yeah, yeah.
It's a little bit tighter. Yeah.
I feel you guys on that. Any last thoughts? We got a show on the horizon here.
What do you got? What phase are you guys in? What personally on your own like thing? Luis, you said your recovery stuff's going good. Marcel, what's on your roadmap?
Yeah, I'm growing. I'm in like dead smack in the middle of growing season. If you guys really want to know, I believe we're 600 mass, 600 test, uh 350 NPP and 6 units of growth hormone daily. So yeah, I'm in the midst of growing. Everything's going good. I'm putting on weight slowly.
Mhm.
Keeping decent condition. Chris is happy. I feel good.
Lift your
My
shirt
body.
up.
What's up?
Lift your shirt up. Let me see.
I'll put up pictures of checking pictures if you want me to. You know, I don't care. The Yeah, the only issue that I have is kind of like my right shoulder is really fucking bugging me, man. I can't figure it out. Like my pressing kind of sucks on my right side because of it, but everything else I feel pretty fucking good. I feel good. I mean, we're waiting for the baby. Yeah, you missed that whole conversation, Mike, but yeah, waiting for the baby, which is coming within the next 3 weeks or so.
Sure.
That's it, man. That's waiting for the little guy and then hopefully step on stage for nationals at the end of the year.
Nationals, is that at Miami? Right?
I believe it's in Texas this year.
On Dallas? Okay. So.
Yeah. Which is perfect. It's closer for me.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Bodybuilding wise, I'm in a pretty aggressive cutting phase because I'm not trying to cut for too long because I need to get back to growing like this guy. So I'm at a pretty steep deficit right now.
Really?
I'm trying to get resensitize myself because I pushed up pretty aggressively in the last push and got into great new territory, and I think it was effective, but yeah, definitely put on more fat than I needed to. So I need to come back down and ultimately do it, Marcel, what you're doing and gaining,
Yeah.
What was the highest weight you got to?
2 pounds a week, right? Target a pound and a half maximum, and go slow and keep it tighter.
What was your peak weight that you got to?
273.
Oh, damn.
Dude, heck yeah.
So,
Yeah. We're keeping at like I would say anywhere between like 0.2, 0.3 of a pound per week, going up. I do better on that than I do. I've blown up before. I just feel better. I function better. I train better, which I think will in turn be a little bit more beneficial. And we do also have a weight cap to make as well. So like we don't want to blow up and have to cut too much weight. So I don't run into the same gut issues, that rock gut that I had. So we're just trying to slow and steady. But I feel pretty good. I mean, I look okay. It's not like you guys know how it is in the off season. You're like, I look okay, but you're not the biggest fan of it, but looks like I'm growing a bit. Oh, it's probably wrong. I don't know if it'll focus.
You'll have to edit it into the post video.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
Oh, you still got still
Yeah, chest and arms look bigger.
everywhere.
Shoulders, all that.
Yeah, I still got leg lines, still got abs. It is what it is. It's not perfect. But it's not bad.
That's good off-season composition though. If you can still see abs, that's what you want to do.
I make sure those stay there.
Yeah, I think for anyone who wants to put on a certain amount of muscle, you're more beneficial of staying on the leaner side. If you're mainly in the beginner territory, you might be okay getting a little sloppier.
Yeah.
But I think once you kind of have your bulk of your size and you're kind of working on parts, you're better off keeping things tighter.
Yeah, I do think it's beneficial to you can do those big pushes, especially if you're trying to go up in weight classes in a short period of time. But at the end of the day, you're gonna run into a wall, and that's exactly what happened to me, right?
Yeah.
It only goes so far before I'm like, okay, my food's X, only so high. I can't really do anything else to manage my blood glucose and
you just feel uncomfortable. Like you wake up, like your blood glucose is above 90 something. You're just like, that's kind of the wall. You know what I mean? What else can I push here?
Yeah, you just start putting on more fat than anything, right? So like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I definitely think it'll be beneficial. Like I will have put on tissue from that big push, but
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it both ways. I've done it both ways. And I can say with confidence with myself is that I do better in like this form where we really control and monitor things, make sure things stay not, I wouldn't say tighter, because don't get me wrong, like I'm not hungry. I mean, I get hungry in between meals here and there, but I'm not like ravaging for food. I'm not,
Yeah.
myself restricted and stuff like that. But I mean, I do follow a plan. That's all it is for me. With our like meals off plan, it's once per week. Like me and the wife go and do something. And I feel pretty satisfied. I feel good. I feel level headed. That's the best way I can describe it. When I do the bigger pushes like I did the years prior, like
Yeah, you burn out.
I burn out. I feel sluggish, tired. That's just I like being on top of my shit. Like I feel like feel like I like being more on my toes, where like I'm not like slowed down and bogged down all the time.
Yeah.
I think my training is best. So I'm down to like in the 240s right now
Mm-hmm.
from, I
The
was holding
70s.
well,
Yeah.
260, holding in the 260s for months. And my training's arguably better now than it
Yeah.
was then because I'm able to push through, you know,
You're breathing.
all my intensifiers. I'm actually able to push to like their true limits, right? Like, I did a Widowmaker on hack squats to finish up my leg day on Friday, and I was actually able to get just failed up because my quads literally like just failed, and it
Yep.
wasn't from me like breathing. I got up and
Mm-hmm.
I was breathing heavy, but I'm like, it wasn't my lungs giving out. It wasn't. It's like training was still like it's
Yeah.
still there, right? So yeah, 100% agree. And which is this is all learning process too, right? Like I wanted to try it that way to see if that like would help me get into
Like slingshot you or something like that.
exactly and coming out of that show and just
And I think it is good too when you're hitting new territory weight for sure. I think it's still beneficial to sometimes to push it, just hold it for as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because your body's never used to or isn't used to that weight. It's gonna be a challenge to get there. Like I know for me, I'm probably gonna have to get softer once I start crossing into the 280 mark. You know what I mean? I've never been there before. Like I've never been over 270, but for sure over 280, it's probably gonna be softer than what I want.
you're low 260s right now, right?
Yeah, this morning I was 267. I've been flowing between like 266 and 269.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
No. Yeah. It's funny because I feel like I'm the biggest I've ever been,
Mhm.
but I'm not the biggest I've ever been on a scale. So
Because you're
I'll
probably leaner, better
yeah,
body
no, I
composition.
am. I am a bit leaner, but like I feel so much better. Like, because I remember those previous off seasons, dude. They were as
Yeah,
fun, but
dude.
not fun. Like it
Yeah.
just didn't feel good. Like when I have to fucking roly poly out of the bed, like that's not good. Like, like that's what I call it. Where you're just like 1, 2, 3, to get out of the bed. Like that's not good. We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
never been there, so that's a goal. I gotta get there.
It's coming, dude. Like if you push past like 275, bro, like you're gonna be.
I think for me, I have to be over 300 pounds to be honest for me to get that. I'm just almost 6'2", bro. You gotta remember that.
Yeah.
I have long limbs, long legs. Like
Yeah.
I don't really hold it just in one area. Kind of like game, it's pretty equal, pretty dispersed
Bro,
out.
I don't want ever to have a 3 in front of my name. Like, fuck that.
Yeah,
That sounds
you're under
brutal.
5. You're under a 5'8". I don't think that's a good call.
Yeah,
But
no.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that's a life goal at some point.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
Mike's a little taller too. Mike's like 5'11", I think. So yeah, I can see him getting to.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm like 5'8" on a good day. So
Richard Jordan's on.
yeah, I'm vertically challenged. That's for sure. So all right, you guys got anything else? Yeah, before we get out of here?
I'm gonna go out
Huh?
and some food.
Huh? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, well, make sure
Yeah,
you guys like, comment, subscribe. Did I do that good, Luis? Did I hit it
good enough. Good enough. Good enough. You just gotta
up?
remind them.
Good
If
enough
by
for
the end of the
God.
video, if you even made it this far, they hopefully will do that for you.
Yeah, yeah, good enough for government. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow Mike, follow Luis, follow myself, follow Derek when he decides to show up and is not too cool for us. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
See ya.